The root of white privilege is my evolving, imperfect journey to understand systems of oppression that justify the killing and marginalization of Black and Indigenous people and people of color. Identifying a connection with these systems to my own life and experiences inspired me to take a cross-country road trip to educate myself and uncover histories and stories that have been hidden in plain sight. I've documented my journey, and I'm calling it the root of white privilege. My ask is for other white people to take initiative in educating themselves in how they are connected with, impacted by, and play into these systems in their own lives to be able to support, listen, and take action as allies in dismantling these systems of oppression and support the movement for Black lives and racial and social justice. Candacy Taylor has done years of research on the Green Book and Black travel in America. Here in Denver, there's a neighborhood called the 5 Points District. I spent a few hours in 5 Points, which was known as the Harlem of the West, and today exemplifies urban renewal and gentrification's decimation of cultural history. What were once thriving Black businesses are now mostly white-owned microbreweries and artisan pastry shops. Meanwhile, towering apartment complexes under construction cast shadows on historic sites like the Rossonian. Rentable bird scooters litter the sidewalks. I recommend an informative editorial on YouTube called Harlem of the West, Denver's 5 Points, and to read Candacy Taylor's book, Overground Railroad, to understand the scope of the challenges Black people face traveling the country in the Jim Crow era and overcoming segregation and racial barriers and inequalities to build thriving Black communities. Researching this part of my route, I came across an author named James Loewen and learned about sundown towns, where Black people could be assaulted and killed if they were present in these communities after dark. If you do a Google search, you'll quickly understand how widespread these towns were and still are. And if you live in the Los Angeles area, you are probably living in a section of the city that was once a sundown town. I was surprised to learn that I had been. Burbank, Glendale, Culver City, Pasadena, and Santa Monica all were sundown towns at one time, and traces of this can still be found on the deeds to many of the homes in these areas. Black people still face obstacles traveling freely in this country today. Beyond knowing about this history and the resources I've presented here, you can take action and donate to the National Action Against Police Brutality, linked here to change.org, and also get involved locally to know your own city's history and the local actions you can support.